Hi guys, today I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of working for Qatar Airways. So first of all, I'd like to say that these are only my opinions and, please go and do your own research. There are tons of forums and places where you can find information about other people's experiences too. Please do not just go on what my experiences were. And if the cons sound really bad to you, I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and end on the pros because there are a lot of pros too, and I would like to end this on a positive note. I would just like to say for everyone who is wondering, do I regret working for Qatar Airways? Never. Was I ever mistreated there? No. Did I experience wonderful, wonderful things there? Yes. So here we go, pros and cons. Cons first. First con, cleaning toilets. Now, I don't want to sound like a spoiled brat here, but I never imagined that I would have to clean toilets. And I did. And it was fine until I reached the stage where I worked on sectors where there were people who didn't know how to flush toilets, or didn't know the difference between the sink and the toilet. Now, obviously, it's no fault of their own, it's because they haven't been exposed to flushing toilets, and you know, like I said, not their fault, but that really sucked. Cleaning toilets. Another thing that really I didn't like so much was the fact that, you have to wake up really, really early. Say you have a flight at 4 o'clock in the morning, the flight departs. Then you have to probably be waking up at around 1:30 to get ready by 2:30. Your pickup's 2:30, you go to the briefing room, you get a briefing, and after the briefing you go to the plane, you have to do security checks, you have to prepare for the service before takeoff, and then you have to prepare for boarding. And then boarding takes some time, and once you reach your destination and you've done a 5-hour flight, you might have already been awake for a good 9 hours and then only get to sleep. Also, the lack of a routine was really hard. At first, it sounds really romantic not having a routine. I know that's how I felt about it. I was like, yes, it was so great not having a routine. I can do whatever I want all the time, and do new things all the time. But at a certain stage, you just wish kind of that you knew what you were doing, or you had time after work every day to exercise. And some people could do it. I struggled with that. I struggled with having no routine. Also, being cabin crew can sometimes get really, really lonely. Now, I know this sounds strange because you're constantly around people and meeting new people. But when most of your friends are flight attendants and you have different flight schedules every month, it can get really hard to get together. So it can become really lonely. As a piece of advice for people who are actually joining Qatar Airways, and pieces of advice that other flight attendants gave me, is try and find friends outside of Qatar Airways as well, so you always have someone to socialize with when you are actually in Qatar. Going on to Doha. Now, there are lots of things you can do in Doha. Go shopping, go to restaurants, and go to clubs. Not always very exciting, Doha, but it can be exciting, but sometimes it's not so exciting. Alright? And I would also say you get cheap standby tickets, but all the cheap standby tickets you get are ranked by priority. So first of all, the pilots get first priority, and then the cabin crew, but only more senior cabin crew, and then so it goes in seniority. So depending on how senior you are, depends on whether you can get on the flight or not. And I've had very stressful situations where I almost didn't get on a flight. Now, mostly that only happened during peak times, like Eid. One Eid, I didn't even get on a flight. And Qatar Airways is very strict on when you come back late. So, I don't know if you've read about the minimum rest rules, but once I came back late for my minimum rest, and I was not allowed to travel outside of Qatar for 6 months during, I had basically a travel ban on my off days for 6 months, except for my leave and for when I went on flights. Now that wasn't too bad either, but that's how they punish you for if you come late after, you come back from days off. All right. I would say another con is that some of the rules, I would go and read about them if I were you, can sometimes infringe upon your life and the things that you want to do and your personal freedoms. But, like I said, it doesn't really feel that bad when you're living them. And I personally feel that the pros outweighed the cons, and the rules weren't that hard for me to live by. Now, passengers can be very difficult. Now, I know that for cabin crew, there are certain cabin crew who believe that there are certain nationalities who are worse than other nationalities. Now, I don't feel that way. I feel that every single nationality, just like every place of work, every school, every town, you get really, really good people and you get really, really not so good people. So I think passengers can sometimes, understandably be tired and groggy and not want to be on a plane, a little capsule. Yeah, so the passengers can be sometimes not so nice. Another thing is, I remember that uh, the flights that I requested or off days I requested, a lot of the times, to be honest, I didn't get those flights. But I got other flights that I didn't even know I wanted and went to new places that I loved even more than the places that I thought that I would like to go. Okay, so those are the cons for me. I couldn't really think of anything else. I'm trying to think now if I can think of anything else that I felt was a con. No. So I'm going to go straight into the pros. So for me personally, the money was really good, especially because the only paper qualification I had was a high school diploma because I'd gone to university, I didn't finish university, and then I went there. So the money was really good. In fact, the money I earned there was more than I still probably earn in coming to Asia and teaching English here. So, especially because you don't have to pay rent and bills and things like that. Now, another thing is standby tickets. Standby tickets are almost no money at all, and they are amazing. You can go travel all around the world for next to nothing. You get not only standby tickets for yourself, but for your family. I think they introduced a program after I left where you can even give it to friends, who aren't related to you, up to 10 tickets a year. So that's really amazing. I mean, the friends tickets is 10 tickets a year, but for yourself, you can get as many as you like. Another thing that I really think is a pro about working for Qatar is that after working for Qatar, I started teaching English in Asia. And teaching English here, I had to, sometimes take work home, write reports, and things like that. But while you're cabin crew in either economy or in business class and you're not a senior, you don't have any work after your flights. All you have was, the flight work, and then once you're gone, you don't need to worry about work anymore. Another thing I really loved is exploring different cities around the world. I have beautiful pictures and memories from all around the world, meeting different people that I'm still friends with to this day that I can go and visit in these countries, memories that I wouldn't, give away for anything in the world. Also, when I was working at Qatar, I started studying through UNISA, which is a South African correspondence university, and Qatar was kind enough to give me time off to go and write my exams while I was studying for UNISA. Now, they gave me my leave, which wasn't great because I had to stay in Qatar for my leave and, write my exams during my leave, so I couldn't go on holidays and things like that. But, I mean, it was a sacrifice I made to make sure I got a university degree as well. Another thing is you get a lot of discounts from hotels all around the world. Also in Doha, you get special discounts to go to hotel pools for free. You get discounts for ladies' nights. You get discounts to your heart's desire in Doha and all around the world. And I would say, I don't know, thinking back on it, when I was there there was a lot of times where I was constantly afraid, of repercussions of things that I'd done regarding service on the flight and things like that. But I think it's more just people around me who were being negative and influencing me in a negative way. So if you're going to Qatar, please remember that, don't be afraid of this ghost behind a black veil or whatever. People are going to say bad things and people are going to always have their opinions. Just keep your head up high and try and be positive. It really was a good time working there. I had so much fun traveling all around the world and doing amazing things. And yes, there were definitely cons to it. But would I do it all over again? Definitely. Do I think it could be better working for maybe Etihad or Emirates or another company? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't work there. I know their rules are not as strict as Qatar's rules. So if you could apply for maybe one of those as well, try and do that. Or if you feel like it's a better option for you personally, try and do that. But I would never ever take back this experience for any amount of money. I loved it. I didn't always love it at the time. I'm sure if some of my friends watch this, they'll be like, "You're such a liar. You complained about it so much." And of course, we're human beings. We complain about things all the time. But thinking back on it now, it was an amazing experience that I'm so thankful that I got to have in my life and that I feel really, really lucky for. Okay, guys, please ask more questions. I love to answer you guys. And shout out to Miss Zulu. I'm so sorry. I don't think I could pronounce your name, but thanks for giving me the idea for this video. And till next time, please like this video and subscribe. Oh, and guys, let me ask you a question. I wanted to ask you a question. What will I ask you? I will ask you, what is a pro or con of your current job, and why are you thinking of maybe being cabin crew as well? Okay, bye 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 bye.